Hi, my name is Dr. Elias Anukwe. I'm a consultant in mental health in the National Health Service in the United Kingdom. I'm really pleased to make these comments about my experiences as a young lad growing up in Africa. I happen to have been a victim of war in the 60s and 70s. My parents fled from Nigeria and to Cameroon, where I was born and grew up for most of my childhood and later on in teenage years before leaving Cameroon. So I've seen the effects of war and the trauma which it causes. I have decided to speak to you on this topic because as somebody who was displaced from my own country, my parents in particular, I saw young people, boys and girls, who were traumatized, abused, and abandoned. Obviously, what comes to mind is the malnourishment and people suffering from lack of shelter and poverty when they are displaced. But when I was growing up, what I saw was more than that. It was the lack of support. The children not being able to talk to anyone, grown-ups or their parents, about their fears. Because in the African tradition, maybe in the 70s and 60s, children were seen but not heard. So for me, and especially children that were displaced from Nigeria after the Biafran civil war in Nigeria, what really scared us was things like not being able to speak to grown-ups about your fears in the school playground. Sometimes people pick on you because you are from a different country, and even though you're all Africans, children can still feel that, oh, you should go back to your country. That really scared me. But you couldn't tell your parents because what really mattered to them was food, water, shelter, and you couldn't tell them, somebody's threatening you because that could be seen as a sign of weakness. For example, seeing a police officer walking down or coming near you, you would think, oh, probably they want you to go back to your country. So for me, over the years, I've always wondered why I couldn't speak to anyone or why people didn't ask me those questions. And I have come to a point that I think that the little things for children that are traumatized and displaced because of war, the little things that matter are asking them, how do they feel? What is their fears? They may not tell you. I wouldn't have told you in the beginning. So if you keep asking me or asking my friends who were at the time displaced, they will be probably over time able to tell you that they worry most about what may happen in the future. Whether they would stay in the country where they were or whether they'll be forced back, and whether the parents, if they were not there, what will happen, because the parents are often on their own without the extended African family, system. My topic is about all those children, our children and their future when they are displaced due to war. In fact, the small things which we need to safeguard are giving them reassurance, giving them hope. Above all, I think, giving them role models of people that have been in conflict and have survived. We have a great role model like Nelson Mandela, who was in a conflict situation, was traumatized by what happened in South Africa, but eventually he became the president. A president. Every child wants to be a president in their country. I wanted to be president once. So that helps. So having those pictures for them to look at, or for you as the NGO working with these young people, speaking to them, because the local children are sometimes very frightened talking to foreign NGOs. They may think that the NGOs have better things to do. They may think that the NGOs are not approachable. You know, children being what they are often a bit cagey or afraid coming out to strangers. So winning their support over time, you know, through things, activities, playing football, doing a life story, of course, these things do help. Really, my topic, which is Our Children, Our Future, is that I am a survivor from a displacement from a warring country at the time, because of course I became a consultant in the NHS, and I'm very pleased for the support I got from not just my parents but teachers who were willing to help me. I think this help can still continue and should continue today.